Hey guys, you are welcome once again. This is Crypto Lord Nathan. Today we are looking at a specific or a strange topic relating that mostly you've not heard about it. Something that is called strategy. A different or a common word as we all know, but mean it differently. Let me dive deep into this thing as I said strategy. This is also called Michael strategy. As you can see, we have a lot of stocks exchange, like the gold, like the silver, like the diamond, like we are even coming to have something that is called Bitcoin reserve, and a whole lot of things, as you know. So this strategy thing, or micro strategy, as I'm coming to open it up to you, talks mostly about something that we call Bitcoin reserved. All right, not as in relating to what US is trying to do. No, this is a different offset, and I'm trying to open it up to you. Stick to your table or get your seat round up, and let's dive deep into what I have for you tonight. If you are new to our channel, do us a favor, give us that thumbs up, smash on the subscribe button, and always make sure that the notification bar or the ring always ring, that each time you drop news, you'll be the first to know. This Crypto Lord, let's dive deep into what I have for you again. So as you can see, there was a powerful news that was launched concerning Bitcoin. It says here that the power launch. All right, it is Michael strategy of what? Strategy news was asked concerning Michael strategy. I mean, it is called Stretch, STRCH. All right, it is something that is undergoing. It is like a company of stocks that keeps Bitcoin and gives an annual or a percentage of about 11% or so. We will know more about it even as we listen to what I have for you today. But a lot of question was asked even about this reserve thing that is going on, that even if the market or Bitcoin is to slash down into or is to be divided into twice as the amount as we have now, what will be the amount? What will be the effect? What will be the dangerous things in the side of what the investors? A whole lot of things. So please don't skip, stick to it. Let's watch till the end. Then again, I will show you what Michael Saylor himself said about this strategy that will really ginger you more.
The company formerly known as MicroStrategy, is also seeing the downside of that, down 4% today and down 38% for the year. They popularized, maybe we could argue innovated, the crypto treasury model with their Bitcoin holdings. Here to talk us through it is Strategy CEO Phong Le. Phong, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the airwaves.
Thank you for having me, Kelly and Don.
So, look, we all know that as long as the price of Bitcoin goes up, your company does quite well. What happens when the price of Bitcoin goes down or even just goes sideways?
Well, look, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and we've seen the Bitcoin winter of 2022. And what happened when Bitcoin went down is we just kept going on with our strategy, which is issuing equity and debt and raising capital at a premium to our net asset value and buying Bitcoin in a creative way. Maybe we do it a little bit slower in a down market, but we just continue with our strategy, and we've been very successful doing that.
What is your average entry price at this point? Because if you had just if you bought all the Bitcoin 10 years ago, that'd be one thing. But if you've been buying all the way up, then presumably some of them are in the red as it's corrected.
Yeah, our average price is around $72,000, so we're still positive on our total Bitcoin purchases.
What happens if it goes below $72,000?
If it goes below, look, we've seen the up and down cycles of Bitcoin, right? And again, we saw this in 2022. Nothing really changes. We trade down a little bit when it goes below $72,000, but you have to be, we're believers in the long-term asset class, right? We believe that Bitcoin is going to go up over 20% a year for the next 20 years. It's been doing that for the last 18 years.
So it's one thing if your kind of average entry price goes into the red briefly, as it might if the price goes below 72,000. But what is the level at which you might not be able to meet your debt obligations?
We have, as you probably know, we just built up a US dollar reserve of $1.44 billion, which covers 21 months of our debt obligations, which is around $800 million a year. And so that'll 2029, and then we have 72 years worth of Bitcoin on top of that. If you assume for a minute a downside scenario, Bitcoin gets cut in half, we'll still be able to make it through to 2065 before we're not paying our debt obligation.
So per what he said, even if Bitcoin is to go down, they will be able to pay to 2065. Their debt obligations means even to the last person who invested into this, they are able to pay the arrangement and all the strategies they put in place till 2065. They will be able to issue payment to all applicants or all investors until that end, which is really impressive. Let's listen again to some part of it.
So we have quite a long runway with our assets that we have in our balance sheet.
Hey Fong, it's Dom. My question to you is, I'm trying to figure out what exactly you think has been one of the primary drivers for the volatility that we've seen as of late in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. I want to kind of play for you something that we heard from Tom Lee, who's BitMine Immersion's executive chairman over there right now, just talking a little bit about the risk sentiment. I want you to take a listen and see what you think.
MicroStrategy is probably the most important stock to watch right now because that is the Bitcoin proxy. It's the most liquid name. It seems to me that when in the crypto world, when they're trying to hedge their longs in Bitcoin and Ethereum, they can't find any other way to hedge it except shorting the liquid stocks that are the proxies. So that's the MicroStrategies.
All right, so you heard Tom Lee just there, Fong. Do you feel as though your company has become this kind of proxy instrument for Bitcoin in the public capital markets? And because of that, people have had to use your company as a way to structure certain views, whether they're long or, in Tom Lee's thesis case, to the downside and short.
Yeah, that's why when Bitcoin has a 50 ARR, 50 vol, we have a 70 ARR, 70 vol, which means that in times when Bitcoin's going up, we go up more. When Bitcoin goes down, we go down more. When we entered this Bitcoin treasury strategy in or a way for people to get access to the underlying Bitcoin through public equities. ETFs changed that a bit in 2024. But yeah, we very much are a big part of the crypto ecosystem and the Bitcoin ecosystem, which is why we decided a couple weeks ago to start raising capital and putting US dollars on our balance sheet to get rid of this FUD. And it really was FUD. We weren't going to have an issue to be able to pay our dividends. And we weren't going to likely have to tap into selling Bitcoin. The narrative that was created, and I don't know where those things get created on social media, the news, the internet, by big banks, by big government, by environmentalists, by Luddites. There is FUD that was put out there that we wouldn't be able to meet our dividend obligations, which causes people to pile into a short Bitcoin bet. And we put that, we just addressed that. In 8.5 days, we raised $1.44 billion, 21 months worth of dividend obligations. And we did it, one, to address the FUD, but two, to show people that we're still able to raise money in a Bitcoin down cycle.
You mentioned the FUD.
So this is indeed something that really happened. So finally, I want us to listen to Michael Saylor's Bitcoin prophecy as the last thing, then we can really get or conclude it.
I think we're going to be $21 million in 21 years. It's a very special time in the network, maybe the one time in the history of the network where you look out 21 years and you see 21 million. Specifically, I expect 21 million coins at a $21 million price in 21 years, and people ask, how's the network going to grow? It's going to be growing at 21% in 21 years. The volatility is going to be 21. This is all, the only number you need to remember is the number 21. And what does that look like? Well, that looks like 28.5% from here. Not that different, slightly less than 29% ARR. But the path to 21 million, it's not going to be simple. It's going to be volatile. And so you're gonna see a volatility, and it's going to damp over time, but you got to be prepared for the.
So meaning Michael Saylor is saying that within 21 years we have supposed to be seeing 21 million of Bitcoin, which is really impressive as at now current price to that volatility he's talking about.
Volatility for the surges, and
So meaning even if you are supposed to buy it, let's say 1 million now, within 21 years you'll be having about 21 million dollars of it. It's quite really impressive. Let's listen to it well.
the drawdowns, the good days, the bad days. This is Bitcoin's annualized return looking back a decade, looking forward 2 decades. And you can see that the network was growing faster when it's small. That's totally rational. It's now in the mid 50s. What do I expect? I expect it will continue to grow exponentially, but as it approaches hundreds of trillions of dollars, it will decelerate to the point where it's growing about 21% a year. Now, how does that compare to the S&P?
So meaning the 21% is just even in a year. Do you understand it? Yes, the 21% is in a year, which is really quite impressive. All right.
It'll be growing faster. In 20 years, it's still going to be the best idea. It's still going to be the most lucrative capital asset a company can hold. It's still going to be durable, vital. There will not be a better investment in the year 2046. And I think it's very important to understand that Bitcoin's heading toward the performance of the best capital assets in the world, in the conventional world, which are like, Mag 7 digital monopolies mixed into an index. It's trending toward it, but it will never reach it. And it will never perform at that level because it's always going to be better. It's always going to be more useful. It's always going to be less risky. It's always going to have the counterparty risk of a company stripped away.
So basically all that you can really understand about what I'm talking about here, what Michael is saying here, is trying to talk more about what the strategy is all about, and then it's quite impressive about it, because indeed if this strategy thing hold in place, Bitcoin is going to be the awesome project ever putting money inside. All right, so let's look at something here. Posted something clear here. Bitcoin News posted something clearly. He said Strive allocated $50 million, over a third of its treasury reserve, into Strategy's STRC perpetual preferred offering. The company also acquires 179 Bitcoin, taking its total reserve to 13,311 Bitcoin, which sum up to $990 million in value, million dollars, which is really impressive. As you can see, the Strive and everything really sums up of it here. You can see the announcement, you can see the official things here. We talk about it, that indeed this Strive or this strategy thing is really improving, and a whole lot of sums of money are entering into this, what we call this Bitcoin strategy or Michael strategy. This is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me your time. This is quite impressive. And